Now, and the mayor has said that, and quote me if I'm wrong, and I know you will, that the sheriff's department is going to come in and help us deal with this. Plus, we're going to hire some more employees. Well, that's a good plan, but I'd like to see visual. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this, believe me. But I'd like to see how we're going to monitor it, how we're going, and what is the agreement? Is the agreement going to be between the sheriff and the administration? And has he agreed to this? I mean, it's easier to say that, but when the deal comes down, they're having a biggest problem that we have. They don't have, their budget is short. And with Trump up there cutting everything down for the county, that's a county entity, which is the sheriff's department. So if we can get something that says, okay, we're going to do this at least for 1 year or for the startup, then I don't have a problem. But until I can see what's going on, and the reason I'm saying all this, because it's not so much about going to jail, it's about being right from the start and not have to do it a second time. And that's why I'm asking for the things that I know we should have and make sure that we get them, or make sure that it's on record that I have asked for them. Other than that, this is not my cup of tea.
I would say that I agree with you. Those was one of the questions that was posed in my committee. But I feel like with criminalizing this, we have to understand the nature of the people we're dealing with.
I know.
A lot of these are businessmen. They're not going to walk around with warrants. You know, they have to conduct business. So I feel like even if we don't go and search for them, they'll incriminate themselves just by the nature of the business that they conduct on a day-to-day basis.
You know how many, and I'm not trying to be funny either, but I just had to go over here and tell Papa John, I had to go over there and tell Nemo about their overflowing trash. I mean, it was all over everywhere. And the people from Emily called me at 8 o'clock in the morning telling me they wanted me to do something. And I went over there and jumped up and down and told him I'd have the police come over there if they had to walk. But they wasn't going to use my cars. Now, if you're going to send notices out to our merchants and tell them what's going on, it's still a plan, Counselor, that we have to put in place and we have to monitor it, and we have to get serious about what we do. We ain't got nothing to lose.
That's right.
You got a thing to lose. You don't make no money no way. I'm sorry.
No problem.
I'm through, yeah.
I just wanted to add that all my votes come from me conversing with the people of Ward 3.
Yeah.
That's why I voted how I voted last time. I went around, including a couple residents in this room. I've discussed this matter. I've discussed this matter with them, and they actually want it.
Yes.
From Mr. Neal on Graham to sisters and brothers all around the great city of East Cleveland. They understand that it doesn't affect the single homeowners and homeowners that care about the community anyway. Right. As my phone and my colleague can tell you is up here ringing now, and I know exactly what she wants because it's a sit out of trash next door to her house.
Oh my.
Or on Claiborne. Well, I have like all kind of pictures on my phone. The residents of East Cleveland, the majority that I have talked to, they don't mind this being law, and they are well aware. A lot of them are elders. They are well aware that it is laws on the books to address this already, but it doesn't They don't believe in the enforcement of it. These are my elders' words in Ward 3. Only thing they want with ordinance number 1017, they want to make sure that it gets enforced, and they understand that the enforcement is the most important piece. But a lot of my residents in Ward 3, they do want this. Thank you.
Mayor, can you get a response?
Thank you, Council President. It is with great pleasure, that I am bringing to you ordinance 03-17, ordinance 08-17, and a complementary ordinance to that, which is 10-17. So as you remember, councilors, and I had it forwarded to the council clerk, I've been working on occupancy permits since I joined council. I had a number of presentations on it, and it's finally to a point where I bring it to you to make it legislation. It is designed to bring in revenue,
Yes.
and I'll get back to that. Ordinance 1017, in my office, I get countless calls in regards to abusers of our city. Doing evictions, the eviction then turns into dumping, and then I have to send the limited city personnel over there to clean up the dumping, which is totally unfair to everyone in the city, right? That will help curb it. The first two ordinances will help bring in revenue, and it's a standard economic development principle. Generate revenue. Services follow the revenue, right? So the other two are imperative that you analyze and pass, because in that, and I've already spoken to the Fiscal Commission about bringing in new workers to then help us enforce these new laws, these new ordinances, right? Generate revenue, provide services, right? There's no point in putting anyone over at the service department. Councilman Martin, they do not have any equipment to use.
I just like to say something about what I learned at that meeting, and I have nothing else to say. We keep talking about revenue. I believe that it was speculated that at 70 to 80% of enforcement, we could still gain up to $350,000 to $400,000 fiscally, and that's only at 70 to 80% of other areas collect way more. I don't even know what we collect at this point, but that's not even at 100%. So potentially we can look at up to almost 400,000, and that's only at 70, 80%.
If I can expand on that, the city of Euclid charges $200 for the same thing, and we're charging $100 for it. And the big residents, the big builders, many of you stay in some of the high-rise apartments, know that they're corporate owned. They will pay it, and they do pay it. Other cities charge it, right? In regards to the ordinance that you're getting ready to pass now, the city of Cleveland, per the eviction, that evicted material must be off the city lawn at 6 p.m. the night of the eviction. The city of Euclid makes the landlord put evicted items